All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this coLcast presentation. Scrimcast live here. We got Complexity Han taking on Lions Esports Club. And, well, what could be considered a little bit of a grudge match between these two teams. Did meet up twice in the last cycle where Lions got the best of coL 2 times in a row. Going to be a fun series to watch here. I'm your casting host, Beef, and joining me, Minets of Trademark Esports. Johan, how's it going?
I'm a bit tired,
Yeah.
but apart from that, I'm doing fine.
Well, thank you for being here despite being tired.
You're welcome.
I do appreciate it. Always love having you on. It actually just occurred to me the last time that I cast with you was the last time I was in my apartment and I was having internet issues. Today is the
Yeah,
first day I'm back in my apartment in the last 2 months and I'm casting with you again. Are you gonna DDoS me or something?
I don't know. Maybe
I think you're the cause of my internet troubles.
could be.
All right, well, let's take a look at this game. Then the blind bands that had already gone out: Ophelia, Parasite, Wild Soul, and Moon Queen. So getting rid of a couple of those offensive junglers there. So what Lions is all about. While Wild Soul, Moon Queen being eliminated by the Hellborn team.
Blind banning Ophelia and Parasite as Legion side is a really safe way to do the lock phase, because Hellborn almost always blind bans Wild Soul no matter what, and then you get the Keeper pick against Tempest, which is always good. Keeper has a slight advantage in that matchup.
Yeah, he certainly can have a bit of an advantage there. But speaking of those two, they do make it into the lock pool along with Torturer, Pebbles, Hammerstorm, and Wretched Hag. So, I mean, Hammerstorm has really just exploded back onto the scene as a top tier pick. And we see him here once again in the lock pool, as well as Torturer. What's with these two heroes making it back onto the scene so strong?
Well, Hammerstorm, in comparison to many other strength initiators, can actually farm decently well in a stale game. If you have like a Fade or something, the hero isn't going to be able to accumulate that much gold if there aren't any fights taking place, while Hammerstorm has his mighty swing to be able to clear neutrals really fast.
All right, all right. So the bands that we're looking at here: Draconis, Bubbles, Plague Rider, Engineer, Zephyr, and Silhouette being banned down. Anything stand out there to you, my nuts?
Not really. Kind of straightforward bans. B could blind ban Moon Queen in the... Oh, he blind banned Moon Queen, so Hans can ban Draconis. So those are the two standout carries in this metagame. So neither of them makes it into the picking phase.
Yeah, indeed. Now, what's left? Well, we already see one hard carry being picked up over there in Dark Lady, but they're already blowing through this right here. So let's take a look at it. It was, in fact, first pick Pharaoh. Lions really values that hero, while Complexity decided to pick up Dark Lady Empath, a pretty strong combination of a hard carry and a support right off the bat. Lions going to respond to that one with Fade Aluna, giving their team a ton of ganking potential.
Yeah. Well, Lions were certain that Complexity was going to pick up Tempest. That makes Pharaoh an even better pickup.
Yeah, it certainly does. And just going to be able to get that interruption straight through the Shrunken Head with Keeper of the Forest and Pharaoh now. It's going to be very good. Now, they finish it off with, as you'd mentioned, the Keeper of the Forest and then the Torturer, going to be played by Flensmeister as a carry over here by Lions.
Yeah. Lions does not have a hard carry.
Yeah.
And Complexity has one of their more old school lineups where they have a melee hard carry and a Tundra to defend it all the time. So,
yeah,
it's going to be a hard game for Lions to play.
So with Lions having this very much so gank-oriented roster without a hard carry, what are they going to have to do here in the early game, in the mid game, to actually secure this win?
They're going to have to try to push early with Keeper, but it's going to be hard because their surrounding lineup isn't that strong to push with the bonus. They have the Torturer Impalement, which is going to do work, but apart from that, they don't really have anything. They have a lot of melee heroes which can't really commit to tower pushes either because they're going to be in the danger zone of being jumped.
That's true, and you'd mentioned that Tundra to actually protect the Dark Lady. I mean, yeah, that bird is actually going to be very useful, especially against Fade. The combination of Tundra and a Bound Eye, or a Bound Eye and the bird in general, is just so strong at dealing with Fade, as Empath Actually has to do a little bit of dodging there, and will
Yeah,
actually
that
escape.
was really close.
Yeah, it was. Franzi probably experiencing some pucker factor there for a second, but he'll be fine. So, yeah, going to be interested to see how Lions tries to approach this and, well, just how effectively they're able to set up their ganks.
Yep.
The lane's 4 Lions, of course, should be a Pharaoh here in the long lane, along with the Luna and Fade in the middle lane. While we do have Hanskin taking in the jungle on Keeper of the Forest, and Flensmeister going to be doing the solo short thing on Torture. Now, he's going to be going up against B-Kid, playing a Suicide Wretched Hag. Hasn't been stacked any regen. How do you think this lane should match up?
I think Torture has a huge advantage in the lane, but Torture's items are kind of questionable in my opinion. He went for a more defensive kind of item build. That looks more like a Suicide set of items to me. I would have preferred some more damage or something, but to each his own. I still think he's going to do really well against the Hag.
Yeah, like you said, some more offensive items. If you'd been able to stack, +4, +5 stats on there, something like that, would be able to out CS this Hag pretty easily. Right now, they're actually looking at very, very similar attack ranges. Torture averaging out about 2 higher than Wretched Hag. But he already is doing a good job harassing using that chain reaction stuff.
Definitely.
Middle lane, you got Tundra going up against 2, a situation that Moon Meander is, well, very, very experienced with. Got to be pretty comfortable here. And, of course, on the other side, Fade and Aluna. Now, are they going to be able to lock down this Tundra and prevent him from getting experience, or are they going to be able to set up kills? What's their goal going to be here in the middle lane?
I think they're just going to try to free from the Fade. They can't really keep the Tundra away from experience, I don't think. On the other hand, Thunder did not buy a shield, a stout shield. He decided to go for the bottle rush build, which is common in a 1 versus 1 matchup. So he can't really harass the Luna at all.
Yeah, certainly not going to have the easiest time there, as we already see Seal Kid stop canceling some of his power throws. But Tundra just going to remain on the top side of the river and hope to get some farm. Luna going to lean top rune, and we'll actually interrupt a mana potion here. And rune spawns bottom, so Keeper of the Forest going to grab a regen. That was actually very timely for him.
Yeah, that's huge.
Now, how big is that actually? I mean, you say it's huge right there, but as a player that's not too strange, or not much of a stranger to playing Keeper of the Forest, how big is that to go over there at next to 0 mana and grab that regen?
Well, you're gonna obviously have to spend less gold on ferrying mana pots yourself, which means you'll get your mana ring earlier. And from there you can just snowball your farm. So it's actually a real big deal. But it seems like he's having some troubles in the jungle, only farming 200 GPM at the moment. Might have had some bad spawns or something.
Catman Champions was the bane of Keeper of the Forest?
Yeah.
Ugh, those are the worst. I think every jungler hates Catman Champions, as long as you're not like an Ophelia, maybe a Parasite. Those guys love them. All the other the hard farmers.
They're amazing on Parasite.
Top lane, we do have the Pharaoh going to be up here doing his thing, Suicide, and Francie actually using a lot of regen already. So Pharaoh has actually done a decent job of getting levels right now, hitting level 4 there before Dark Lady, and not expending a ton of regen either, even getting some last hits right there. Super KGE seems to be faring a lot better up in this lane than I would have expected him to.
Yeah, he's pretty much equal to B-Kid at this moment, and B-Kid has the 1 versus 1 lane. Usually when Francie is in a 2 versus 1 lane in his lane, he counterwards the full ward really early, but he didn't this game. I don't know why. Maybe he's thinking that Pharaoh's gonna block it either way with rockets, even if he counterwards it.
It's always a possibility now. Taking a look at the bottom lane once more, Wretched Hag was kind of thwarted a little bit and pushed back, using all that regen already, while our Torturer still has quite a bit of regen, but running a little bit low on mana. The CS right now is, in fact, 20 and 3, as opposed to 12 and 2, so getting the better end of that. As in the top lane, Tempest has come over, dropped those Glacial Blasts. The auto attacks there. Super KGE going to go down. Empath tried to come in and help out with that haste rune, and Sealkid going to be able to put out a lot of pressure here, but not able to go back in time and save his teammate.
Yeah. Did Aluna TP up there, or did she just grab a haste rune and run all
grabbed
the
the
way?
haste at top river and walked up there.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little bit unfortunate from Pharaoh, but I mean, you're going up against that pseudo tri-lane. You have to expect that at some point Tempest is going to come out of there, and if you're not able to catch it beforehand with one of your wards, well, you're probably going to die.
Yeah.
So back in this middle lane, let me take a look at Fade's farm. 33 and 21. That's actually pretty
Yeah,
good CS.
That's pretty close to every single last hit, I think.
Yeah.
Not that close, but
Yeah, not that close, but
350
probably not-
GPM is decent. And Keeper just think level 6. Is gonna see if he's going to mid the push or not. I think they could easily get the tower since Thunder is out of mana.
Yeah, he has one more bottle charge, but not going to have enough for those piercing shards for a little while here. And yeah, Crimson doing a pretty good job, Ben. I think he's hitting about 80% of those last hits, which is doing pretty well. He's going to be able to get those levels, especially since Aluna has been roaming around a bit. And Super KGE not able to pick up those early boots like I think he might have wanted to after that death. Gonna try to prevent the push coming in here at the top lane. And if you're Lions, do you rotate anybody to try to stop this push that's inevitably going to be coming right now, or do you just counter push?
I don't think so, since Pharaoh's only level 5. Pharaoh's gonna be able to annoy them a lot with rockets, but if he was level 6, they could easily set something up. It's gonna be tough to do it without it though. But as you can see, the rockets alone is really stalling them a lot. And Riser actually spawning his elementals in the tower and losing one. Nah, it's right. Could have been huge.
Now middle lane, like you said, Keeper of the Forest going up against that Tundra with very limited mana. Who, yeah, actually out of mana. Able to get that tower, so gets the tower first blood. While in the top lane, like you said, Pharaoh, level 3 Tormented Soul, doing a very good job at actually thwarting this push for now. And Tempest is just going to retreat back into the jungle. Meanwhile, the Lions team appears to be going for 2.
Yeah, Tundra's an amazing counter pusher, but it seems like he used a lot of his mana to get some creep kills in laning phase, and it really punished him because he had to go back to base to regen when Keeper started pushing.
And defensive tower already getting pretty low, but there is rotation coming over now. Tempest and Empath, both of them going to be making their way on the scene, but the Legion team is backed up sufficiently for now. And Fade, Invis might be going on to Empath here, and where's the opener? Where's the opener? There's the opener. There's the Burning Shadows. The coL comes out in the last auto attack, finishes her off. Tempest wants to come over, almost got that Glacial Blast off, but just got fogged at the last second.
Oh,
And
Tempest is in trouble though.
yeah, Burning Shadows could come out here. Fade not going for it just yet. The tower will go down. There's the Burning Shadows onto Wretched Hag, actually. Root not going to be used by Keeper of the Forest. Backs that one up.
I think that was a wise decision.
Yeah. 2 towers, though, for Lions.
Yeah, that was huge. It's the middle towers as well, which grants them a lot of map control. They're gonna have an issue with Fade now, because Fade's such an annoying hero to have roaming against you.
Oh, there's the Burning Shadows on the Tempest. He goes down. You saw him trying to use the Elemental Void there right before he died.
Yeah, at least he didn't get it off. Could have been even worse if you just cast it as the stun went out.
Yeah, that would have been a very bad situation. Might have survived if he'd been able to get it off before the stun.
Yeah.
But of course, the stun was already out. If he had gotten it off, just would have been a giant waste of a cooldown, and we'd both be sitting there like, oh, come on. So, Riser drops in GPM a little bit, and so 9 minutes into this game, Lions up 4,000 gold, 1,700 experience, and, well, we definitely expect them to maybe be up a little bit here with a more early game-oriented team.
Yeah, they're doing an amazing job right now. And Torture has decided to max his Impalement the second ability as well. So if Keeper starts pushing both those towers, they're gonna drop instantly as well.
Yeah, whenever he wants to make his way over there. Instead, going to look at some double stacked ancients over here. And, well, I do want to reiterate, actually, that these teams are pretty familiar with one another. They scrimmed quite a few times last week, and then in the last cycle, Lions took out Complexity 2-1 in the winner's bracket, and then 2-0 in the loser's bracket. So I think coL definitely wants to try to get more familiar with the team and figure out just exactly why they're doing so well. I think the Lions is actually just playing phenomenally lately, taking third in the
Were those
cycle.
games played with less QQ or Riser, by the way? Just
Less
out of
QQ.
curiosity. Oh, okay.
I know that I can't remember the score in the Scrim series that they were playing with Riser, but all the Han Tour games were all with Les QQ.
Oh, there's aim this Thunderbolt, and Fade
Yeah.
is...
Oh, Fade's going to
Fade.
open right here. There's Chain Reaction comes in, and down goes Wretched Hag. So Tundra not able to get that avalanche. Is in the top lane. Seal Kid gets caught out a little bit right there, trying to do some counter warding. Did manage to get the counter ward down.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, because they were trying to set a gank up within this Tundra, and then Fade was there in this.
Ooh. Speaking of Invis Tundra, he just bottled up a grabbed the double damage.
Yeah,
Can't
he
bottle.
just stole it.
And Fade probably like, what? And then he's like, uh-oh, somebody's Invis with double damage. And Flensmeister has not gotten the memo because he is about to take a lot of damage here. Tundra not opening yet. Level 6 Tundra with DD. Oh, Wretched Hag's here. There's the Avalanche. Piercing Shards. There's the Bat Blast. The Sonar Scream to finish him off. And B-Kid picks up that kill. Well set up. Very, very patient there from the Complexity squad.
That was a huge kill for them. They really needed that. There's actually 4 members of Lions in the top lane right now. So they're deciding to push the top lane instead of the bottom lane.
Now, what could the reasoning behind that be?
Well, they're gonna stop the Dark Lady. Oh, actually kill him.
Tried to get that Wrath of the Pharaoh there. Whiffed it on a creep. Super KGE, what are you doing?
Well, if you push the top lane, the Dark Lady cannot farm her own jungle safely. It's really easy for the Keeper of Forest to just keep farming the Hellborn jungle then. Whilst pushing the bot lane is a lot easier for the Legion team. But they're doing a good job. That kill on Dark Lady was huge for them.
Yeah, getting the kill on Dark Lady indeed, and so maybe that wasn't a whiff on the Wrath of the Pharaoh. Then I moved my camera right as that happened, and maybe it was like a point blank kill on Dark Lady.
Yeah, it was.
Yes. Okay. So Super KGE, not what are you doing? I now know exactly what you're doing. I missaw there. My eyes were fooling me. Good job killing Haxer. Fade actually interrupted a TP on Tempest as well. Tempest had wanted to go to bottom lane and actually counter push. But Fade interrupted it and just walked away after that. And Tempest ended up having to go to town instead. So not going to be able to get the tower in the bottom lane either. Lions just playing really, really well right now.
Yeah. The biggest thing is that Dark Lady is not even close to her Battle Fury, even though she had a complete freeform lane. This guy is gonna be at least another 10-15 minutes before Dark Lady is ready to take team fights.
Yeah, gonna have to get not only that rune cleaver, but most likely a shrunken head as well, as Empath is gonna get initiated on here in just one moment. There's the opener, Burning Shadows, coL! Not even using the coL, just the auto attacks with the assists of that.
Man, there has another Invis rune though.
Yeah, what the hell's with these Invis runes? There's the Haunt coming out, and Fade will go down. B-Kid picks that one up again. Wow. Moonman are just like all about Invis runes right now. Great job getting the rune control there.
Yeah, definitely. Rune control is really important in this game. Alliance actually let their bottom tier 1 tower go. I feel like they could have defended that maybe. It's gonna get Dark Lady closer to a rune cleaver.
Yeah, I think they could have defended it as well. Of course, just a little bit out leveling them, but more importantly, at this point, got some big items. I mean, you see portal keys, double portal keys just picked up right there. A push stick on Torture. The mobility advantage and thus the positioning advantage in the team fights most certainly would have been on Lion's side. Even if they didn't want to take that fight, they could have actually forced the deny pretty easily there.
Haxorn is in trouble again. They're gonna try to set a gank up with the keeper in this here.
Yeah, they certainly are. As there's the wall of mummies coming out. Gonna wait until Dark Lady actually charges. Then there's the Wrath of Pharaoh coming in. The auto attacks are there. Glacial Blast coming in. Needs to be careful of an Elemental Void. Red Power Throw not actually gonna find him either. And there's the Dust. Elemental Void. Dark Lady gonna try and get out of there. Tempest Elemental's not gonna block them actually. Root does come out. And well, Luna gonna try to come in there. There's the wall of mummies to interrupt that one actually. Fade does finish off Dark Lady as Tempest went down as well. And now Empath could be in some trouble. Burning Shadows up in another 2 seconds right here. And there's the Burning Shadows coming out. Empath definitely in some trouble. There's the Avalanche though, and Empath actually trying to get out of there. No. Emerald Lightning, and they finish her off.
Yeah. The fact that he used Elemental Void to save Haxorn and that he died anyway is huge. I think Lions can even break base at this point.
Yeah, they certainly might be able to. If they don't want to go for base, then maybe something like that bottom tier 2 tower could be in store, or maybe just getting some really deep warding and get really, really aggressive. I think it's safe to say that Lions is getting the job done here with this early to mid game team. They're certainly taking the towers like they need to, and they're also getting tons of kills.
They're going for a kind of ganking route though. If you compare them to a team like SG, SG would not have picked up 2 Blink Daggers this early. They would have like focused on getting a mech up, Astrolabe that is, and Barrier Idol, just to be able to break the base. But Lions instead are going for lots of Blink Daggers.
Lots of Blink Daggers indeed, yeah. I really do like that, the ganking oriented. And I even said yesterday when I was watching one of the Lions series, I think it was the first series of the day against SG, yeah. And I mentioned that I just love the initiators online. I mean, I like the Lions team in general. They're a very cool bunch of guys. But Super KGE and Krebson individually both do a fantastic job at initiating. And you put them on heroes like Fade and like Pharaoh, the ones that are able to just get those big initiations off, and they just do work. They find these little tiny holes, get themselves in there, and get the best pickoffs possible. Ooh, Dark Lady almost going down there, but does manage to escape, and Fade using the portal key to get on out of there. By the way, congratulations on your win yesterday.
Well, thank you.
I didn't get to watch it. I was driving for the latter part of the series. I watched the first game and I was like, TDM's up 2-0. It's gonna be a stomp. And then I went for a drive and I came home and I'm like, I wonder how that series ended up. I was like, oh, wow, evidently it was a close one.
Yeah, I got a bit closer than I would have liked it to be, but we won in the end.
There you go. 3-time Han Tour Diamond champions. Pretty nice.
Yep.
I'm sure the team and the sponsors are happy with that.
Definitely. Looking forward to Vegas. Gonna be a lot of fun.
There you go. Hopefully I'll get to meet you there. Back into this game. So complexity. I mean, let's like.
There's a gank on both, by the way.
Yeah, there's a gank in the bot indeed. As Pharaoh will be going down here. Sends out a Tormented Soul with his dying breath and says, "You guys will at least have some information," and then dies. That wasn't very good. You need to stop me before I embarrass myself like that again, my nuts.
No. It's okay.
So
they used 2 ultimates for that though.
Yeah,
It's still a really good kill. Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
Top lane, they get the kill onto Flensmeister there. Oh, red power throw gonna connect and does kill Tempest right there. Fade gonna be trying to catch up and get this Dark Lady. She doesn't have enough mana for a portal key and a blink though. But she's trying to get in range. No,
For a portal key and a blink?
Or excuse me, a portal key and a burning shadows. You know what? It's been a long night, okay? It's been a long day, a long night. I'm tired too.
Did you see how they set that up though? Because Tempest didn't use Elemental Void. I think Clansmeister must have been slightly out of position for that to happen, to be honest.
Yeah, level 12 Torture does not go down that easy.
He has a push stick as well.
Yeah, and with no portal key there on Tempest, yeah, must have just been really hugging those trees pretty close or something, and then Tempest catches him right out of those. So anyway, Complexity responding with a couple of kills right there. Dark Lady still farming very respectably at 356 gold per minute. I mean, the 390, 400 gold per minutes over there on Lions, those are great, but those still aren't hard carries. Your Torture has some semi-carry potential, but nothing to withstand this Dark Lady when you're going on to 40, 50 minutes into this game.
This is the downside with going the portal keys. If you cannot find the kills, the items are pretty much useless.
And Fade just picks up a Codex.
Wow, she's really farmed for Fade. 382 GPM, that's insane. Fade is one of those heroes that's really hard to keep the farm up on when you're going out of the laning phase. She can't really flash farm like many other heroes.
That's what you were just talking about when I asked about Hammerstorm, was unlike a Fade. It's, if you can't find the kills, it's hard to farm. But, well, Krebson doing well. Still has 80 CS here at 20 minutes in addition to 8 kill involvement. He's been doing very well for himself, and now going to be looking for a kill in the middle lane. Hits the reflection, and definitely could find a kill here on Wretched Hag if she's not careful. And there's the opener, Burning Shadows, coL Codex auto attack, and Fade brings down B-Kid.
They're going to be able to defend top tower as well, it seems like.
Yep, looks like they're going to put it into deny range here. And, ooh, even using a Portal Key Root Hanskin with a big mistake right there. Don't exactly know what he was going for.
Well, even commented on it in chat. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest, because Complexity can't really take advantage of it, since Lions is in the driver's seat at the moment. Lions can just wait the cooldown out and then take a fight.
Yeah, not too long of a cooldown. Was it 110 seconds at level 2? Yeah. Not too long, not too long. It's not like
I was just about to comment on the fact that I didn't like that they were trading towers. Lions was, and then Krebson got an insanely huge kill on mid, and then they defended the top. So Lions did a really good job there.
Yeah,
if they hadn't used the route, they might even have been able to go for a Congo kill or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of an insanely huge kill, though, B-Kid has done a phenomenal job at recovering after... I mean, he had a pretty good start, actually, in that bottom lane. But still, he was maintaining 350 gold per minute, and he was on route, or on track to actually finish up a 22-minute Hellflower.
Yeah. That's actually really impressive, because even though Hag is one of the suicide heroes that has the easiest time recovering, playing against the Fade makes it 100 times harder, because you're never safe. Hags recover by like pushing side lanes really deep, and then just blinking away whenever someone shows up, but you can't really do that against the Fade.
She'll just kill you. She will just kill you all day. Now, Tundra has been using illusions. Moon has really had great rune control this game and some really nice runes. As he has picked up that Bound Eye, and Fade gonna be coming in here on the Wretched Hag, and not gonna be able. There's the Elemental Void actually. All of a sudden, Lions is in trouble. Bat Blast onto 2 players. Hanskin gonna go down, and so does Krebson. Great response there from the Complexity team, and I've got to say, a little bit premature of Krebson to initiate right there. You have the clear vision. Normally, you like to scout it out a little bit, but initiated right in the face of a Tempest.
Yeah, I didn't even see what went down. Tundra has a Bound Eye, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe he was afraid of that. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yeah, Tundra was on the other side of the map, though.
Okay.
Right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I was looking at different places.
He was mid, and then he eventually made his way back up top. But yeah, a little bit premature there. And for Krebson, that's going such a gank-oriented, not really teamfight-oriented route with that Codex that he's now leveled up to level 2, to get picked off right there, not exactly ideal. Didn't even get the kill onto B-Kid, and that allows Hag to finish up that Hellflower.
Yeah. They definitely have to be going for the kills, though. Maybe not as 2. Maybe they should have someone else with them. I don't really know what item they're going for on Flensmeister, but keeping on farming is not gonna help them in the end. Axern is definitely gonna be able to outcarry the Torture no matter what item he goes for.
Yeah, Flens with that Blessed Orb, maybe a Sheep Stick?
Yeah, probably a Sheep Stick.
Probably a Sheep Stick.
And the Pharaoh's going for a Hellflower, so they'll be able to lock down the Dark Lady pretty easily. But I'm assuming someone on the Hellborn team is gonna go for
Storm Spirit.
a Storm Spirit sometime soon.
Now, who would get that though? I mean, your empath is pretty much never going to be able to get that.
I think a Tundra.
Tundra.
Tundra is probably most likely. Yeah.
So Portal Key, Bound Eye into Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
He doesn't need any other items, to be honest. He's just there for the ultimate in the vision.
Yep. I agree, but well, once again, that Tundra with the bird and the Bound Eye, it's the bane of Fade's existence.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So Krebson all of a sudden gonna have a whole lot harder time finding these ganks and gonna have to be a whole lot more wary.
Moon just made a huge lap in his own jungle, scouting for wards, making sure Dark Lady can farm there safely.
And he's picked up another Invis rune now. Man, he is...
That's insane.
He is on top of these runes. I think he's gotten like 80% of the runes in this game. But that other Invis rune...
That's really impressive with the Tundra. Because Tundra doesn't really have that good of rune control.
Yeah, Moon doing very well, and I mean, there's a reason that for like 5 months, Tundra was just banned against complexity. Just like you don't let them have this hero. But, well, gonna be making his way into this game. Moon playing him, and actually gonna break the Invis there to bottle up a regen.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird decision. I guess he couldn't really utilize the Invis for anything.
Yeah, I guess probably afraid of the Bound Eye on the other team, which Luna has had for about 10 minutes now. She's doing some counter warding of her own.
That's kind of a weird decision not to have the... Oh, they actually just put the Bound Eye on Fade instead. That makes a lot more sense.
They do.
Because of the clear vision his ultimate gives.
And still working with that Codex level 2. Going to be able to kill pretty much anybody on the other team if he can find them by themselves. Dark Lady is up top, has the shrunken head. And you can even see a counter ward down just to try to give any additional vision, as Dark Lady will be TPing on out of there. So, able to finish up the shrunken head, and now picks up another Mighty Blade. So looks like he's going to be going for an Ice Brand immediately afterward.
Yeah, this is where Dark Lady gets really scary as soon as he picks up his shrunken head. Pretty much going to be able to solo anyone on the Legion team now, caught out of position. And I'm assuming Torture is going to be the target of his Dark Blades in team fights.
Oh yeah, until Torture can get a shrunken head of his own, which is going to be a while as he looks to be finishing up that Sheep Stick first. Well,
yeah, he's getting pretty close though, the Sheep Stick.
Yeah, about 1,000 off, 1,100 off, something like that. Not too far away at all. But I mean, even after that, I mean, he's not farming super high anymore. 380 gold per minute. At that GPM, I mean, we're looking at 12 minutes away to finish that sheep and the shrunken head. As, Keeper of the Forest in some trouble right here. Aluna going to be coming in, wants to get the Emerald Red Lightning. Huge Emerald Red Lightning. There's a Burning Shadows. coL comes in. There's the power throw. The Codex and Hag goes down. Fade could still be in some trouble, though. The Torture comes in, whiffs the chain reaction. Agonizing Bonds, bringing Empath back in. There's the root after the buyback, and Tundra is going to be in some trouble. Empath going to go down as well. And
that was a huge Fade stun.
Up. Yeah, Fade got a really big stun right there. And they're going to be going for Tempest as well. As Pharaoh has connected. There's the chain reaction. The coL and the auto attacks. Make that 4 for 1. Huge buyback. Congar. And that's Congar.
Yeah. I honestly thought Complexity was going to destroy that fight. But Lions managed to turn it around somehow. Krebson picked off B-Kid really fast there, all alone. That was huge. Before B-Kid managed to do anything in the fight.
Yeah, that was really good. The initiation there was definitely on the Hellborn side. They blew a lot of stuff on Keeper of the Forest and just, well, they didn't have a whole lot to deal with the other 3 or 4 members of the Lions team that showed up immediately afterward. And, well, in the end, end up losing everybody but Dark Lady.
Dark Lady wasn't there, though.
Yep. And drop the Congar as well. Fade picks up a Codex level 3. And very close to level 4. And
it's pretty rare to see someone upgrade the Codex past rank 1.
Well, when you're all in on this ganking strategy.
Yeah, I guess.
And everybody on the other team's squishy. I mean, even Tundra, the strength hero that you would normally see be kind of tanky, I mean, he doesn't even have Mystic Vestments at this point. Like you said, he's going to be going for that Storm Spirit. Knows that he needs that Storm Spirit. And as a result, he's going to be pretty squishy throughout the entire game. I mean, the highest life over there is Dark Lady at 1,500. Everybody else, even this Hag at 1,300 life, could be one-shot by the Fade with that level 3 Codex.
Yeah, the Codex did a lot of work in the last team fight as well, as they were able to kill the Hag so fast.
Yep.
They don't really have anything to deal with the Hag unless they burst him down.
Oh, somebody's getting initiated on. That was an empath. That was an empath illusion. Nothing too big to be scared of there. And, well, Super KGE picks up his favorite item on Pharaoh, Hellflower. So going to be able to just Wrath the Pharaoh on in, drop the Hellflower on somebody, and burst them down. Amazing for dealing with Tempest. Amazing for dealing with Wretched Hag. Hell, even Dark Lady and Tundra. So not bad at all. Fade doing a little bit of scouting right here. Looking for the empath. This is dangerous. This is so dangerous. And there is a Word of Revelation down. Fade going to be opening right there. This is such a bad idea. There's the Wrath of Pharaoh coming in. Dark Lady trying to get out of there. Hellflower applied onto Fade. And, whew, okay, that was really scary.
That was one of the shortest charging strikes I've ever seen. I think Haxton panicked a bit.
Yeah, that was interesting. And does use his Shrunken Head. So that's going to be on cooldown for now. Another 60 seconds. And was that his 10-second? Yeah, that was his 10-second Shrunken Head.
Yeah, that's a big deal actually. This Legion has the token as well. They should be able to push the mid here. I really think they should.
Yeah, I definitely think that they can. Shrunken Head down for, what, 30 seconds? Still 35 seconds. At least put some pressure on this tower here. But the Illusory Veil goes up from Empath. And that's a really annoying spell. There's a lot of counter push here on the Legion side, but going to be hard to deal with the Impalement here.
Yeah, and Tempest doesn't have a BKB yet, so the Legion side has infinite ways to interrupt the Void.
Yeah, there are quite a few. Fade still off stalking to the side. She's activated the Reflection once more. And now it's probably time. Do they back up here now that Shrunken Head is off cooldown again, or do they keep on pressuring this tower?
Well, they have a token on Torture, so they might as well keep on pressuring.
Ooh. Oh, interesting.
Like
so Tundra went for a push stick.
What, he did?
Yeah. Not that Storm Spirit.
Guess they figure Dark Lady's dead either way if he gets caught.
Oh, Wrath the Pharaoh comes in. There's the sheep. Two-man Burning Shadows. Tempest goes down right there. We'll see if he does. Try to buy back. Bat Blast going out, hitting two people. Dark Lady activates the Shrunken Head. Down goes Pharaoh. Just blown the hell on up. Tempest does buy back, and Torture in some trouble, hitting the Torment right here, as well as the Impalement. Elemental Void going to be going off. Torture is still going to be going down, though. Token Life will bring him back up, but he is still in some massive amounts of trouble. There's the Taint Soul. The auto attacks is going to finish him off. Beacon gets the kill onto Seal Kid as well. And, wow, Complexity able to clean up on that team fight very, very well.
Yeah. Well, did you know what happened to Hansken? Did he die or something? He didn't get his root off in the team fight.
I think he got Dark Blades by Dark Lady right when she TP'd in, and then after that, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like they should have tried to save Torturer. Maybe set what?
That's an issue. Well, Fade was trying to gank Dark Lady, and Dark Lady died to neutrals. Complexity's been all about dying to neutrals recently.
Yeah. That's kind of lucky, though.
Oh, Fade gonna be going in on Tempest right here, and ooh, does he want Tempest or does he want Hag? He can have either of them. Maybe he wants Wretched Hag and open. There's the opener. Burning Shadows whiffs, and now he dies.
Wow, Moon was really fast at blinking in there. I don't think he would have killed Hag even if he hit the stun.
Yep. You gotta talk about maybe being a little bit greedy right there. Tempest was in one position, further away from the base. Maybe it would have been better to take that kill. Instead, tried to go for the Wretched Hag, ended up paying for it, and all of a sudden, the gold lead in this game is gone.
Yeah, and they lost the Bound Eye as well, which is huge.
Yeah, losing that bound die. Not going to be able to upgrade the Codex to level 5 if he has to buy a new bound die. And Keeper of the Forest will be TPing out here. Now, he's gone for an Arcana. You think this is going to be a Refresher? Hellflower?
You got your answer. Just
Did
bought
you buy it? Oh, just got
Sustainer as well.
Yep. So about 500 gold off now from that Refresher. And going to be able to get the Refresher before Tempest is even able to get a Shrunken Head. This is actually a really big deal.
Yeah, Riser is kind of struggling to find farm. He's leaving the entire jungle to Dark Lady.
Is that something you agree with? I mean, we'll typically see you on Tempest, and you're like the top farmer on your team at like 550 gold per minute or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty greedy with Tempest. No, but I definitely think they should try to pool as much farm as possible on Haxor in this game. But the BKB is a pretty big deal though, because then it just has to catch Keeper to get a full void off. Right now everyone can interrupt him. Every single player on the enemy team can interrupt him.
Yeah, most certainly. And Fade does pick up a new bound die now. Going to be off trying to skirt through the forest and maybe find a pick off. She's not going to find anybody up there because, well, everybody on the Hellborn team is down here in the bottom lane. Dark Lady leading the charge. And she does have that new Ice Brand. Going to be able to pick that one up. And Fade going to be coming in toward the Ancients now. Needs to be very careful. Tundra does have that bound die once again. And goes for a double damage. Ooh, snags the double damage. Very, very nice. What were you saying?
I wonder if that was the real Dark Lady. That was a really risky path to take, I think. Maybe they had vision of someone in the Legion team somewhere.
She wanted the double damage down there at the bottom rune.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wanted that because that would be a scary team fight to deal with the double damage Dark Lady. But now DD Fade going to be doing a lot of damage herself, but still just not going to be able to kill everybody over here on the Hellborn team because they're just so pub trained right now. So if you're Lions in this position and the other team is just grouping up, like 4 or 5 man roaming their jungle, roaming a lane, what do you do?
I think Lions should try to force a team fight. I feel like they have a strong team fight right now. It's really slipping out their hands though, because Dark Lady is getting bigger and bigger for every minute that passes.
Yeah, and so, well, need to force that team fight on their terms. How exactly would they go about doing that? Do they do that by trying to get into the base, or just trying to follow the pub train?
Well, they could just push mid. The tower is so low, it's gonna drop within a few seconds of pushing.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit shell-shocked from their last push, though. That did end up with 4 players dead.
True.
And only getting the Tempest kill in return. Riser does once again have another buyback. But not dead yet, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. And Fade trying to find somebody. This is the problem that you're talking about, though, is if you're not able to get the kills, your farm does start to dwindle here. And Fade dangerously close to actually dropping back into the 200 GPM range.
Yeah. Remember, she had 80 CKs at 20 minutes, so she's gotten 28 CKs the last 16 minutes of the game. That's... I don't know.
Mid tower goes down here, and the melee rack's starting to take some pressure. Tormented Soul going to provide some vision, but you see how split up the Lions team is right now. They're just a little bit scared of trying to get in there. And Fade, I mean, with that Codex, this is a ganking item, not necessarily a teamfight item. It's not going to provide her a ton of ability to get into the middle of those team fights and live. She's just there to pick off one person and try to get out, but most likely she's just going to die.
Yeah, they pretty much have to one-shot Dark Lady to have a chance in a fight. And if Dark Lady has a buyback, there's just no way they're gonna win.
Right now, does she have a buyback? She does
not.
not.
I don't think so.
Finished up that Frostburn. So definitely not gonna have a buyback. And Riser needs to be careful over here in this bottom lane. As does Wretched Hag. There's the Wrath of the Pharaoh. The Hellflower comes out. Burning Shadow's whiffed. Kodak's gonna finish him off though. Beacon goes down. There's the cover of darkness. Avalanche out onto Fade. Bound Eye gonna hit the ground. There's the charge in. Sheep onto Tundra. And Haxorn actually gonna be getting to work here. There's the root coming out though. And Dark Lady's just gonna sit there in one position. Buyback on Wretched Hag comes in. Shrunken Head. Torture goes down. And Lions, they are in some trouble. Auto attack's gonna be there. Luna goes down as well. And gonna be trying to pursue, but no. Han's getting able to get out of there. And so did Super KGE, but Keeper of the Forest in the bottom lane going to be looking to try to counter push while the Hellborn team takes Kongor.
Yeah. Lions went all in on the Wretched Hag that fight, and then Dark Lady just free roam to kill them all. And with Empath inside of him, he does so much damage.
Yeah, it certainly did do a lot of damage, and I think that there was actually a mistake there. Oh! Pharaoh tried to come in right there, instead gonna give up his life. Actually, a really good block, a body block there from Empath to absorb that Wrath of the Pharaoh, so it did not hit Kongor, did not hit Dark Lady, and so that he couldn't snag that token. Very, very well played there by Franzi. But yeah, I want to go back to that team fight a little bit there. We saw a Sheep come out onto Tundra immediately after he used the Avalanche. Right when Dark Lady went in, they were like right on top of each other. I think they were trying to Sheep the Dark Lady before Shrunken Head went off, which they would have been able to at that point.
Yeah.
But accidentally hit the Tundra. And that could have been a big deal in that fight.
Perhaps. I don't think they would have been able to kill Dark Lady anyway.
No, probably
They didn't
not.
have their Fade or... Yeah, they just lack damage. Sustainable damage. They have the burst damage, but if the fight goes too long, they're gonna lose it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Hanskin still does have that double ultimate here on Keeper of the Forest, which could be very, very big. And Fade looking for a pick in the background over here, getting kind of close to Empath, and he's almost assuredly going to find Franzi. Yeah, Franzi. See ya. Opener, level 5 Codex, and he's dead.
They didn't even have to stun.
Yep, and just going to try to run away. Deep Shadows goes out, and can he use a TP? Or is he just going to wait 5 seconds for his reflection? Oh, he needs to do
This
something.
can be dangerous.
He needs to do something, and is going to walk right by a Warlock. And there's the reflection. Oh, he's still in some massive amounts of trouble, though. Ooh, piercing shards. Wow. Very, very close.
I did not expect them to back off there.
Yeah, and well, they know that the opposing team might have 5 in the area. They don't know exactly where everybody is like we do.
Yep, it's true.
So probably the smarter choice to back off there. Now, Fade, now that she has that level 5 Codex, does she go for Spell Shards next to get even more burst damage so she can just straight up one-shot the Empath?
I don't know, I would have preferred to see a Hellflower or something like that. But I guess if you go for the rank 5 Codex build, you might as well build the Spell Shard.
How much are you looking forward to having Grimoire of Power in the game?
It's gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna pick Dampier every single game.
You go Spell Shards, Dampier, or what's your build on him?
No, like Grimoire all day.
Just straight Grimoire?
Yep.
Red Boots Grimoire?
Like Face Boots Grimoire into PK.
Wow. That's a pretty aggressive build for sure.
It's effective, trust me. You should try it sometime.
Maybe next time I'm playing Dampier, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so back into this game. 5 players here in the middle. And you can see Empath just sticking so close to her team now. Saying, Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. No, it's the other way around. Either way, Empath does not want to die again.
And Complexity is deciding to push with 5k stored up on Haxorn. It's kind of unusual. I guess it doesn't really have an item slot available.
Yeah, Dawnbringer, if that was in the game.
Yeah, if that was in the game.
Man, those items.
Usually you want to spend your gold before you go for the push, since buybacks aren't that
for
useful
sure.
anyway.
Oh, Hellfire going out there on the Keeper of the Forest. He's going to be in some trouble. In fact, he might be going down, and yes, he will. The kill on the Hanskin right there, huge. And Fade gonna try to get out. Burning Shadows in the middle of the cold shoulder. Oh man, Bat Blast goes out though, and Fade will take the fall here. And that might have just done it for complexity.
Do they have any buybacks?
No.
Oh. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to defend then.
Yeah, Dark Lady
Oh,
gonna be
mid.
charging up mid. Wants the kill on the Torture, but the push stick away in time. Torrent has finished up that Shrunken Head.
It's not gonna help him that much though,
Nope.
sadly.
Not at this point in the game.
coL
And-
seems to be a bit indecisive of which lane they want to push.
Yeah, I think they finally
They're going in
decided
for
on
it,
mid.
not mid.
Auto attack's gonna be coming in, and Empath inside of Dark Lady can be able to clean up these creeps, and well, not gonna get all of his life back because Tundra used the piercing shards. Thanks, Moon. But the tower will go down here, and well, Dark Lady actually getting kind of low on HP. If they try to initiate on it, they'll burn the token here pretty quickly. Wrath the Pharaoh going to be going out in the back. Hellflower on the Wretched Hag as well. Push Stick going to be coming in. There's the Torment, and well, Beacon going to be going down, as does Dark Lady. And Dark Lady not going to be locked down immediately. So they save the racks, and they get the kill on the Beacon. Push Stick comes in here from Torture, and they're trying to actually find kills. Will they be able to get any? Fade going to be
Hax
coming
might
in.
turn it around.
What's that?
Decided not to. I thought Hax was gonna turn around and kill Torture. But that would have probably been a bad decision.
Fade still striding after everybody over here, and Fade trying to close the distance. Not quite able to find it, but 5 players up with B-Kid down. Does have the buyback. They're gonna go straight for the middle racks here.
Yeah, they're gonna force the buyback. They need to be really careful though to not get caught in a Tempest hole.
Ooh, Rift Shards right there. What level are those? 2. Yeah, he's gonna go with level 2 Rift Shards. There's the initiation onto Fade. In comes the Burning Shadows as well. Torture actually gonna be going down right here. Not gonna be able to buy back on him. Super KGE hits the floor as well, and Fade gonna get broken on the Essen Link. And she also goes down. Lions getting caught off guard a little bit there.
Yeah.
That buyback. Elemental Void not even needed. I mean, how many times have they even used the Elemental Void in this game?
I don't think I've
Once?
seen a single Elemental Void.
I know that I've seen 1. I think I've seen 2. And I think
Yeah.
both of them were counter ganks. Like in the
That
jungle.
might have looked stupid from Lion's side, but I think they really had to go for it. They had to take the risk.
Yeah, they
Hag
certainly
didn't have a buyback, they could have gotten racks, but if had a buyback, the game was pretty much over anyway.
Yep, so Lions in rough shape.
Still hanging in there though.
Yeah, some serious
Not giving up
tenacity
yet.
here. But the tower going to be taking a lot of pressure right here and going to be going down momentarily. Melee racks go down, range racks in the middle lane go down, and there's an avalanche going out on the Seal Kid. Luna in some trouble. He drops. Back Blast going up on the Hanskin. Tree's going to go down as well. Elemental Void used on nothing right there. Great job, Riser. And auto attacks from Pharaoh. Buyback on Hanskin. There goes ult number 1. And ult number 2 maybe in a moment here. Ooh, Found Eye's going to be hitting the floor. And Hanskin able to get the kill onto Dark Lady as well as Tundra. Tempest going to be able to get out of there. There's the portal keys and the flash of darkness. And what is he doing? That was not the best decision. Riser in trouble. Empath's going to go down here in a moment as well. Oh, that was a big illusory veil, actually. And will Tempest be able to get away? One more second. There's the Tormented Soul, the Codex, and the auto attacks. Empath goes out on the other side. And Wall of Mummies goes up. And all of a sudden, 5 players dead here from Complexity.
Yep.
Now, are they gonna be
Everyone
able
has
to get
buyback
anything?
though.
Yeah,
Every single
okay.
one of them.
Nothing-
I
so
actually
nothing's
think
gonna
B-Kid bought back there, didn't he?
B-Kid bought back on the middle push.
Yeah, didn't he buy back again though? Didn't he die in the bottom fight right now? He doesn't have any more buybacks at least. Maybe I'm
You
wrong.
might be right.
Oh, it doesn't look like he died
don't know.
actually.
Doesn't look like it. And Beacon needs to be very careful. Is Invis. No bound eye right now on Fade. And are they just going to go straight for these racks? Buybacks comes in. There's the buyback on Dark Lady. All 5 are
That's
up.
4 buybacks.
And everybody run. Everybody run. Everybody run. Torture is dead. Leave him. Leave him. Lensmeister's dead.
No buyback in torture either. Oh, Fade might get caught. Nope. There's the GG's.
Yeah, GG well played is going to come out. Lions just going to concede defeat. There's the Storm Spirit finally here on Tundra. As the game ends, does pick that one up. Yes!
I was right.
There you go. Not bad. So, Complexity looking like they've, well, done pretty well here against the ganking-oriented lineup of Lions. And that's going to do it. So, Complexity takes the scrim. Congratulations to them. And very well played, withstanding the onslaught of early ganks and early push pressure.
Indeed. I think Tundra is really hard here to deal with if you want to go for a ganking lineup.
Yeah.
Just the sheer amount of vision and map control you get from his bird is insane.
Well, and the huge counter initiation potential of the
Yeah,
Avalanche. Very, very strong hero. All right, guys, so that's going to be that scrim. We're going to be going into some more here momentarily. I've been casting host Beef, and joining me of Trademark Esports, we got El Capitan, Mr. MyNuts himself. MyNuts, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You have any shout-outs before we go to a break? You want to cast some more, or are you going to be done?
I think I'm done.
All right.
And I don't really have any shoutouts, but see you around.
All right. Take it easy, and good luck in your future matches.
Slots.
Adios. All right, guys, this has been Scrimcast Live with Beef and MyNuts. He's gone. I'm going to find somebody new. Somebody better. No, MyNuts did a fantastic job. And really do appreciate him being on. Does provide some of the best insight around. He's just such a smart guy. His drafting, his strategies are really good. But Lions versus Complexity game 1 over right there. I think we're going to be getting into a new one here momentarily. So be sure to stay tuned. And, of course, a huge shout-out to Complexity Gaming for all their support of coLcast and allowing me to be here, bringing you awesome heroes and new Earth action 6 days a week. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.